What is up? What is happening with you guys? It is Lee27 in the building, and we back here with another video. And man, oh man, the Dallas Cowboys are in the same position they was a year ago. It's gonna be the same way until something changes for them in the next coming years. But aside from me saying all that, though, I think the Dallas Cowboys had a really good offseason, though, depending on what they were working with. Honestly, the Dallas Cowboys set themselves up to where they could compete for the division against the Philadelphia Eagles, and to where they can even be the first seed for the whole NFC. Now, obviously, injury always going to be a factor because injuries is part of the game, unfortunately. But it also depends on how great the offense plays, because they did fire Kellen Moore because they felt like they reached their ceiling with Kellen Moore as their OC. To which it begs the question how good the offense is going to be, because Mike McCarthy is actually supposed to call the plays down this year, and it's been a long time since he called plays, and some of his play calls been kind of vanilla, especially back when he had Aaron Rodgers as QB. But that's besides the actual point, though. The biggest point to me is the fact that is Dak Prescott going to take that step of being a consistent top 10 player, actually play good when you're going against good teams. Because at this point in time, bro, he hasn't proved to actually stay consistent against really good teams or against really good defenses, to be exact. Now, last year, even though Dak Prescott had an injury, he actually recorded 2,860 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, and league high 15 interceptions, which tied with Davis Mills. And he does have new weapons in Brandon Cooks that they just traded for after they traded Amari Cooper a year ago. Now, they don't have Zeke no more, but they do have Tony Pollard, who's actually going to be slated to be the RB1 for them. But he is coming off an ankle injury to where he got injured in the playoffs. And I don't know if you're going to start week 1, but whenever Tony Pollard's on the field, though, he always a big play waiting to happen. So he's really that good. Two big concerns for this offense is the fact that is Mike McCarthy actually going to call some really good plays for him, because it's been while since he called plays, and ever since he had Aaron Rodgers, he's been giving a bad rep. And also too is Dak Prescott going to be consistent when it comes to them playing good against good teams. Their offensive line is getting older too, but at the same time though, Tyler Smith showed to be really good. Steely was actually pretty good contributor to the O-line too, and this offensive line should still be borderline if not top 10 in the league. Now on to what's going to win them most of these games in this NFC, and that is their defense. Ever since Michael Parsons got drafted 2 years ago, their defense has been one of the best defenses in the league. They had minimum top 5 defense in the league, especially when it comes to pass rush, because this dude Michael Parsons really changed how great this defense really could be for real. Now last season he definitely had himself a really great season as he accumulated 13 outsides, 13 tackles for losses, and 3 forced fumbles, which wasn't he recovered for a touchdown. And he also made the All-Pro team and made the Pro Bowl, all that type of stuff like that. He was just otherworldly amazing all last year. Now, can I also interest you in the fact that at least 6 of those games he accumulated at least 2 sacks in the one game? That's really impressive, considering the fact that this is only his 2nd year in the NFL. Shoot, he's so good to where a lot of people are already assuming the crown of being the best defensive player in the NFL, to which I could give him that, but I give him at least 1 more year before I give him that title, because Aaron Donald still exists. Now, even though this was his first year being a legit pass rusher, I did see him to slow down a little bit around the end of the year, to which he definitely got to get better at that, because you can't be gassed around the end of the year where they really need you, especially come playoff time. Now, another defensive guy on this team named Trevon Diggs has a pretty good season too, as he made the Pro Bowl last year. He didn't have the 10 interceptions like he did last year, but 3 interceptions for 14 pass breakups is still pretty good for a guy that a lot of people consider overrated, because he had a lot of interceptions, to which you gotta be really good to actually get a lot of interceptions, in my opinion. I get the fact that they threw the ball to him a lot to where you got the interception, but last year they didn't throw the ball to him that much to where he get the high interceptions, because he'll make you pay if you throw it his way, for real. It also helps that they had added another corner in Stephon Gilmore, who is a very respected corner, a very great corner in his own right. Most view him as a top 10 corner if he has any other person, and even though he's 32 years old, be 33 whenever the season begins, he still has really good juice and still experienced enough to where he can just make plays for whenever they need him to. They also added another D tackle in the draft when they drafted Mozzie Smith, who actually helps them in the run game, because even though the defense was really great last year, like there were definitely times where like remember they actually had to stop the run. Like they'll give up like a huge amount of rushing yards in the game to where like they end up like screwing themselves over in the passing game for real. Now, obviously, you know they can definitely win this division. It's definitely winnable because both the schedules are hard, but the Eagles' schedule is even harder because they are going against a lot of top QBs in the league, bro. Especially from the AFC. Like it's gonna be hard, bro. And I just worry about the offense and how that's gonna be because yeah, they do have CeeDee Lamb, who's a legit #1 receiver. Brandon Cooks is really good receiver and all that stuff like that. And hopefully Tony Pollard comes back from his ankle injury the way he was before that. But it's on Dak Prescott, bro. Like he has to play good in games where you need him the most. Like if he just does that, bro, like they will be a Super Bowl winning team. Like I can honestly say that they have a Super Bowl winning roster, but Dak Prescott needs to play good. That's all it is, bro. Like it's not me like hating on Dak Prescott. It's just that like I've seen it numerous times where like he plays good against bad teams and not play good against really good teams. So that's all it is for him. And then of course, you know, with the whole Mike McCarthy thing, him calling plays, like as long as his plays are actually like pretty good play calling, like they should be straight on offense. I do see him having a big dip in the offense because I do feel like the Cowboys gonna miss Kellen Moore a lot more than they think, but I do still feel like this team is still good enough to make the playoffs. They definitely gotta win the division though, because like they cannot get eliminated before the conference finals like they do every other year when they make the playoffs. They can't do it, or else they're gonna have to find some type of replacement or something like that. If y'all mess with this video, man, like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos for more videos like this. Here's more videos like this on the top of the screen. If you want to hear more about how I feel about Dak Prescott, I got another video up here that you can check out too. Other than that though, man, have a great day and peace out, bro.